and little egret. There's a shell duck down there.
With the Canadas?
Yeah, on the far right. A good estuarine bird. Like a large duck. It's almost like a goose size.
The big red shield.
On
It
its
used
chest.
to be called shield duck.
Did it? Really?
Yeah, that's why it's
I
shell duck now. It's
never
just been
heard that.
shortened because of that
Don't
big
know-
red blob on its nose.
I don't know why it's called shell duck.
Because of that bit. Used to be shield.
Oh, shield to shell. The three common birds of prey we get here, the kestrel, which you'll see, almost guaranteed to see one, which is nice. Buzzards soaring over with their large broad wings, and then the peregrines come through pretty often. And there's a meadow pipit singing. So the two birds that you associate with grassland like this would be the skylark, which is singing now, just constant. The 303 bird, it's like it's at a rave.
Yeah, techno.
Techno bird. And they fly up really high. They come out of the ground and they hover and sort of float up and up and up and up until they kind of disappear into a small dot in the sky, but you can still hear them. So there's at least 3 singing that I can hear. And there's a meadow pipit. As it descends, there's a descending flight, and then often lands on a fence post or something. Nice to see a good group of starlings there. Look, that's quite a big bunch. Adults and juveniles probing the ground.
Loads of juveniles.
Loads, yeah. The juveniles look brown. Have you ever noticed when people send you a photograph, you go, what bird is this? And you go, what? I've never seen a bird like this, and it's a juvenile starling.
Yeah.
It's always a juvenile starling. Because they don't have the shiny feathers.
They don't look
of
like
the
any.
adults.
They don't look like any other species. You can't mistake them for anything other than juvenile starling.
This is the saline lagoon. This was created when the country park was first designated by county council in the 70s, and this saline lagoon was dug out on purpose to create habitat for wildlife, birds. So yeah, it's saline because the water is a bit salty, but not completely. It's a mixture of fresh water and salt water. At high tide, the sea comes up and it seeps through the shingle, and so you get salt water in the lagoon here.
It's like mimicking an estuary.
But there's also a sluice that can be used to control the water levels, and then you can drop the water levels and you can create lots of mud when the waders are migrating, and they love it. But in the summer, the water levels are higher, and on these islands we get nesting birds. So we're trying to clear the vegetation on these islands so that it's not the vegetation is not so dense, and that would be really good for nesting birds. At the moment, we've got a pair of oyster catchers nesting here. Looks like one's sitting on eggs, in fact. Or about there, where that fence is broken. So we want to be able to let the water in and have this, high level in the summer, and then let the level down in the autumn, and so this would then create areas of mud, so that then you get all this mud would be exposed, and then of course the waders come through and they're probing the mud for all the invertebrates that live in there. Really rich habitat for little worms and things that they love to eat.
Aren't cattle
On the
egrets
beach.
becoming more popular as
Cattle
well, more
egrets,
common as well?
Cattle egrets are following them now, and
Yeah.
great white egret are now no longer a bird that you need to report in Sussex because they're just here. Normally the rarer birds, you would report them and they'd, make note of them, but great white egret no longer. Cattle egret are now breeding in Sussex quite regularly. Cattle egret might possibly have bred at Seven Sisters Country Park, actually. A local bird watcher.
What, recently?
Within the last few years, yeah. Because we have a heronry above the car park, and there's egrets in there as well. I don't know if you call it an egretry.
An egretry. An egretry.
If you get a heronry, I think there's only one pair of herons in there, and the rest of them are egrets. But there might have been a cattle egret pair. Someone saw cattle egret going in and out a few years ago. A good local birder told me about that.
That'd be nice.
That would be exciting. As soon as the sea comes in, you get these salt-tolerant plants growing, and you get the sediment building up, which captures the carbon. You get a salt marsh habitat.
So exactly what you're saying about having a mosaic of habitats with that, and the saline area, and the fresh water.
Yeah, a mixture of habitats. And then we've got chalk grassland up on the hill.
Chalk grassland.
We've got the cliff tops, which have got which got chalk grassland all along the top of the cliffs. Triple SI, special site of scientific interest, all the way along from here to Beachy Head, and the Seaford Head here behind us. Have you seen the chicks of a ringed plover?
And it's the cutest things ever. So well camouflaged, but they're just, when you see them, they're all leg.
They're like a bumblebee.
Little ball of fluff.
Yeah, like a bumblebee with long legs.
Yeah. It's just amazing though, because one minute you can see them, and then the next minute they're still there. They're just, the camouflage is so spot on for that environment.
Yeah. Well, maybe they're here now. Be good if they were.
That would be nice. This is samphire.
That stuff.
Yeah, the succulent one, and then the other one was the is it the one that looks like tansy? What's that?
Chamomile.
That was just chamomile, wasn't
I think so. What do you think it is?
I always thought chamomile or mayweed. But
Oh, yeah.
you can get different varieties of chamomile, so I imagine it's that.
Do you want to have a look through the telescope?
Yeah, go on.
It does look like it's incubating, doesn't it?
It does look like it's incubating. It's quite a vulnerable spot. I mean, the ones that we saw on the lagoon, on the island on the lagoon, are obviously a little bit safer, surrounded by water, but this one, you can walk straight from the beach down to there. It's chosen to nest there because it likes to nest in an area with short vegetation and some shingle. So if we can get the islands on the lagoons to look a bit more like that, that would be more. It would encourage them to nest there more.